Welcome to another edition of Set the Trend, the MCs edition. Thanks for all your comments and your views on the current Set the Trend podcast that's just come out, A Woman's Worth. Just to put a little disclaimer, I had Sharona. Sharona is actually the first female promoter that did some of the blues dances, house dances from back in the day. I'm talking like early 1990, 91 with Jargo and that. So I just wanted to salute her and include her in it, because the podcast and what we're doing is about recognizing what people have done, what they've achieved, and making sure that we document that. And also, if we can give them a platform where they can get to talk about their own story. So no one documents it for them, they document it themselves. No one can take it and go and edit it and go and do something else with it and claim it was theirs. We're documenting our own culture from our own perspective, from our own times there. And with that, can I introduce our guest this week? Well, not our guest, our host first. Michael Fontaine, aka EastEnder, on the end. How are you, sir?
I'm good. You good?
You good? No pink shirt this week?
No, not today. Not today. Guys,
That's just the guys. It does. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And on my left-hand side, we have Reggie Heavy Styles.
Feeling a bit holy today, but I'm alright.
You're feeling a bit what today? Holy.
Yeah.
Why? Oh, you're in great. Oh, yes, we definitely have.
I'm talking about the holy my travels.
We're definitely talking about greatness today. I don't think that we would have had this meeting, this interview, this podcast 10 years ago. I don't think we could have believed that we would have put it together. We have three MCs who are without doubt at the top of their game, have brought the business on leaps and bounds and to another level. And when I say DJs, I don't know if I'm supposed to call them artists now as well, because they've got a thing going on where where we're supposed to call them artists now.
Sounds good though.
So without that, on my left-hand side we have DJ Emai of Latest Edition.
Salute.
And on my right-hand side to my right we have MC Dodd from Studio Express 625.
Whoa, we're in the building, y'all.
And you have my colleague MC Hollywood from Fifth Avenue in the building.
Just our word.
Salute, guys. Nice to have you here. I think I'd start off with asking you guys, I'll ask Dodd first. Do you believe that you get the recognition that you deserve? You know, being that we've just introduced you as the three guys who are, without doubt, over the last 20 years, have moved the game up a level, who are often looked as trailblazers, who, when you're talking about lyrics, you're talking about style, we measure every other DJ off of you guys now, whereas you had Tony Nicks, you had Val Pacino, you had Husky, you had 76 back in the day, and we transferred the torch on, to name a few. Do you feel that you get the recognition?
I'd say in the latter part now we're getting the recognition, but over the last couple of years, not really, because I don't think people took the scene as seriously as we're taking the scene now. So going to a rave where people just hearing the DJ do his thing, it's almost the norm. It's not like it's something special, but we've turned it into something special now. So I think the recognition we're getting now is the well-deserved recognition, but I don't think we was getting it from before.
Hollywood, do you think that you've got the recognition over the last 20 years?
No, because I want some artist money.
Is the shots directed over here? But we can talk about that in a minute.
To be honest, things have changed in the time that we've been doing things, where the music's concerned and in the industry. I would say it's slightly got easier because we now transform from blues dances and warehouses to clubs where the hours are shorter. And I think beforehand, where it was blues dances, we got a bit more recognition then because I believe the work was harder back then. And I think the status that we carried back then was higher. But then obviously switching over to the clubs, the work's slightly easier, it's different. But recognition, how do you measure it?
Do you think that you get your recognition from your peers, from your fellow DJs, from the people who frequent the clubs, the blues dances, the warehouses, and that's not being disrespectful, but do you feel that, you know, they've recognised how important you've been to the culture?
You do get that. There's the odd times where people will come and tell you, yeah, wicked, like that set, like that lyrics, like that style. So you do get recognition, or people are a little bit more open now to come and tell you, yeah, well done, love that, wicked, beautiful. Do you know what I mean? Where to before, I think we might have been looked at as unapproachable. You know, like not superstar status.
I'm going to Emai on that one in a minute.
Like unapproachable. We're in a DJ booth. Do you know what I mean? So unless you know the person, boy, you look done all right. But so it's a little bit different now.
I think to add to that, I think some of the ravers are intimidated.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially like, I was concerned anyway, because sometimes I used to just say what I really want to say.
Yeah.
So it's a bit intimidating for someone to come across to even say, can I have a birthday dedication? But as time's got on, as I said, we've gone from house dances where it was a bit more
edgy.
Clubs are a bit more relaxed.
Yeah, shiny shoes.
So you get the credit. So you think overall, you do get the credit?
We do get the credit, but we're not getting the full recognition.
Emai?
I think from my perspective, I think we probably get more recognition than we will know. And I'm going to say that because Hollywood, you will hear people give Emai praise, or give Dodd praise, or other MCs, yeah? You might not hear it for yourself, but you hear people talking about your peers. I hear people talk about Hollywood, I hear people talk about Dodd. So, whereas you're saying that you don't get it, you can't tell me, Dodd, you haven't heard people call my name.
Yeah, definitely.
Exactly.
So that's what I was saying. How do you measure it?
No, I'm not saying I'm measuring it. I didn't say I was measuring it.
I'm just saying personally.
I'm just saying it's out there.
Does that credit come from inside the industry or outside?
I think it's both.
Okay.
I think it's both, because you got to understand that whether it's, they say, negative or positive, exposure is exposure, innit? Yeah, it's exposure. So, as when you're saying is it inside or outside, regardless of where it is, do you understand me? Some people might not know what Dodd looks like, or what I look like, or what Hollywood looks like, but they've heard of them.
Well, do you prefer having recognition from the public ravers that come to the dances, or the recognition amongst your peers?
Both.
Both.
Okay.
Both.
So there's no percentage.
No.
Recognition is recognition.
Listen. At the end of the, this is what I'm trying to say.
Recognition.
Do you see where I'm coming from? It is what it is.
Okay, guys. So we're moving on from the recognition part. How do you take criticism? You know, for instance, Dodd, when you hear people say that you're too loud, you're too animated, how do you take that kind of criticism?
Not nice.
It's not nice because no one likes criticism. It's not nice.
Constructive criticism is not.
There's two kinds of criticism. There's constructive criticism and there's criticism when someone's just outright just slating me. Now, over the years, when I was younger, I couldn't take this, I'll be honest with you. That used to lead to arguments. But as time goes on, you just got to know you're in an industry where you can't please everybody.
Do you think you're too loud?
Sometimes I can be.
Is that your character? That's part of your main character.
That is part of my way of vibing with a crowd. I am now. But on saying that, everybody got their own style. So that style has been developed. It started off loud, now it's been developed into a style where it's controlled loud.
Oh, you know how to tone it down,
Yeah,
yes?
of course.
Dodd, is that not part of? I mean, everybody sees Dodd, but do they not? Dodd is a character. Dodd is the character that you put on. Your real name, we know your real name, but that's your day-to-day person. And then you step into your role when you get that mic in your hand and when you step into the arena. So is that not part of a character that people can't understand?
I'll tell you what it is. You can't put that character to the person because it's not the person. You're acting. Okay. You are definitely acting. For that half an hour, that hour, 2 hours, whatever, how long you say, you are acting. Because you're there to make the crowd do what they're supposed to do. So that is part of the act. Because on a day-to-day, am I that loud? No. So it's not you, but it's more just like an ego.
Like, yeah, but they have different people in it. Always, some people will love that, It's the fact that you're loud, and then the other people who say,
It's
"Why the boy chat too much?" You know, blah blah blah. Yeah.
Some people like BM, some people like Mercs. It's not going to tickle every cup of tea, but as long as you can kind of please the majority, it works.
Where's your style, your character developed from?
Well, I'll tell you the truth, my character developed from putting myself in a situation of not being a person that used to like R&B, hip-hop, soul. I was straight a reggae man. I used to listen to Saxon, Volcano, Unity. So I was more a DJ, as in a ragga DJ. So I was taken out of my comfort zone. I'm put in this arena with all these sweet, talking sweet. I couldn't understand it because I've gone in there with yeah. People say,
You're too loud.
Where's this guy come from? But over the years, the music's changed. The arenas have got bigger. So that's when my style kind of captivated the audience because I've got a bigger audience.
Do you know where I really saw your character change? Around the mid-90s, early 90s, was when the dancehall thing came on and you had that kind of DJ who used to really express themselves with the clash thing and that. And I saw you take on some of those kind of traits and make it your own and develop your own character.
That was my So when I used to see like Matteron back then, that's me. Like, wow. He's commanding the crowd, he's loud. And he's doing his thing.
It's like Ricky Trooper, isn't it?
Yeah. So we've got Tyson Street's got 1,800 people.
And you can't be quiet, can you? You can't just sit there and
Not in Tyson.
It's a different dynamics now. So you've got 1,800 people, you're at a stage. Do you really expect it to stand and be like, hi people, big up? But nah, it needed that extra energy and it worked.
Yeah.
So the loudness kind of just soaked in because of the numbers of the people. When it was smaller venues, and I got louder, it sounded terrible. But as the venues got bigger, it just soaked in. So for me, that's how it works.
How about you, Emai?
Yeah, it's the opposite. Like this.
Because like you're seen as a laid back kind of character
trying to give it the Barry White voice and all that stuff.
I don't even know where you are going with that. Yeah.
You are seen as laid back though.
But I am. Yeah, because at the end of the day, everybody's got their persona in it. So my persona is very laid back. I'm a Libran, so I like balance. That's what people need to know. It's a balance.
So do you have an alter ego, or is that just you? What we see when you're?
Listen. You see, for me, my vibe is dictated to me by the crowd. I don't dictate the crowd. Like I don't dictate my vibe to a crowd. I pick up the vibes from what I see.
So you read the crowd.
That's what I'm trying to do. You understand? So if I might see something going on over there, a conversation, or I see a man who trying to chirps a thing and you might have got moved on, you get me? But do you understand? I'm not gonna hurt him up, but I'm gonna mention it. I'm gonna mention it in a way that the people that was involved in that, they know what I'm talking about. Everybody else is thinking like, what's he on? But there's certain people that was in that little environment, that little space there, they know exactly what I'm talking about, so they're laughing. Do you see where I'm coming from?
Okay.
So I work off of what's in front of me. I don't go in with a set plan. There's sometimes back in the day, you'd go in somewhere with a set plan, and then the DJ before you just took away your plan.
But which DJs? Because there's not much DJs that can take away your plan, is there?
No, I'm talking not as an MC.
You mean the vibe?
I'm talking about as a selector.
Okay,
yeah? So selectors would, because remember, it's a team thing. It's a team thing. So, the dance is going on, the selectors are playing, the sounds are playing, and you're supposed to come on at one particular time. That time when you come on, you've already ascertained what's gone on for the duration that you've been here. So where am I gonna go? Yeah? And then, okay, so you've made up your mind. Yeah, right? Like you said to Holly, yeah, I'm gonna go here, this is what I'm gonna do, boom, boom, boom. So Holly's he's on side, he knows where you're going. There's a connection here now. So this is what we wanna put out there to the crowd now. We're gonna change it from what it was, or where that direction was, and we're going to change it and do it like this or whatever. Then, just before you come on, 2 records to go, a man goes into he's gone into what you're supposed to do. Yeah? To me, I don't really get it. My sound has never played like that. Never ever played like. If we play,
So you mean in terms of, say for instance, Emai is finishing off a set and he's playing dancehall, and then he's got 2 records to go, and then he'll throw in something like two soca or
something
silly, and
why?
not let you carry on.
Like why?
Give you why? Change the vibe.
Why? That's my thing.
I've had DJs like that.
Yeah,
there was one in St. Lucia the other day.
As a sound, we've never played like that. If one thing I can say for my DJ Legs, he would consider other DJs.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? He's considerate to what the dance is so long. All right, so I might be on at this time, but I'm gonna make sure there's still a barrage of tunes still can play. Where you got some man and they just want to come on, play everything that they think people want to hear, and then I'm taking that accolade and I'm gone now. So it's left for the rest of the man them now to make the dance work with what's left. I don't like. That's something that, for me, as I said, that's why I'm so laid back. Like if I come on first or I come on last, it don't really matter to me.
So, talking about criticism,
Yeah.
you know, how you take it.
Yeah.
You just said you read the crowd and
Yeah.
you're normally late when you come to your events. How do you get a chance to read the crowd?
I don't get a chance to read.
I turn that 15 minutes before the set.
Yeah.
I can come into a dance and a man's just he's going to play his first song. So as I said, I've come in there, the song plays, I'm looking around. I would. It's not something that you got to sit down for 10, 15, 20 minutes. A selector might have to do that. He has to be there half an hour, 2 hours before to clock what's going on, what's been done.
So
for me as a mic man, I can come in at the drop of a penny and turn that over. That's how I feel.
I remember you used to say that to me actually.
As a mic man, who was your early inspiration?
Who was my early inspirations? Like the micing thing, I didn't really. I'm gonna tell you, the micing to become an MC. I was originally a soul selector in a reggae sound. Okay, so when the sound would rehearse, because we didn't always play out. Man would go around to the yard and we would just play the sound, like we're playing out and we're recording it, yeah. And when your time comes as a soul selector, you got to play 2 songs, maybe 3 if you're lucky, and then it went back to reggae again. So for the time of playing all this music, say we're here for 4 or 5 hours, you might play music for about 10 minutes. Technically, 10, 20 minutes, I say, so to speak, yeah? So
your inspiration though was?
My inspiration, this is what I'm getting to now. My inspiration was being stuck as a soul selector around reggae man for a lot of time.
Okay.
So now I had to penny what was actually going on during that time. So, as I said, we recorded the sessions, we'll go back home, we listen to the tape. So I started paying attention to what the man then was saying on the mic. And it was a lot of rubbish. Everything rhymed, but it didn't make no sense. And I thought to myself, really? But man was getting forwards. Man was properly getting forwards. Man would say like, yeah, me did there Brixton, me there Tottenham. How did you get from Brixton to Tottenham, bruv? That's how I was looking at it. Like it was like, it did, as I said, it didn't make sense, it just rhymed. I'm going back, we're talking in the 80s
Yes,
now.
early.
Okay, so I thought to myself, if that is what it is to get on the mic, I can do that. And one day when the man was doing their reggae segment and, turn over the version, I said, I want to go. And every man was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Nah, bro. So I said, I want to go in it. So I tried the thing and the man then booed me off.
You know what? I have to give you credit for admitting that.
The man then booed me off. I know to this day, I think if I look hard enough, I've actually got the tape.
Wow.
Yeah? Where the man them said to me, no, stick to the soul music, stick to Michael Jackson and all that, and Freddie Pendergrass and them, man, stick to that. Louder reggae thing. And that was like, really? Really? after I know that you lot are chatting rubbish. Yeah? So I went back to the drawing board. I continued writing. I started to write until we was, because like, I don't know for yourself, Dodd or Holly, as a person that could pick up the mic, there was enough places that I'd go to, there was a DJ, there was a microphone and nobody was on it. So I'd be like, well, can I jump in? And man would say, yeah man, pick up the mic. That's how I kind of started to do my thing. I remember going to a shubbing, yeah, in Plater Road, not Plater Road, Milkwood Road.
Brixton.
Right? And the great Ricky Rankin. Right? The great Ricky Rankin was in the dance. And I wanted to get on. So I've gone around there and man's doing his thing and you know, I tried to get in and the man just eased me off. Just eased me off and I thought, wow, okay. So the following week, I went down there at about 9 o'clock.
Before anyone got there.
You went 9 o'clock?
Before
first and
anybody
last
got
time
there.
you got to go to the dance early.
Before anybody got there. Yeah? Right? And no, because the sound's warming up. Yeah, and there was no mic man. So we're back to that scenario. So that's how I got on. And then when the great Ricky Rankin and some of the other man them, Colonel, Daddy Freddy, I think Michael Prophet come to that dance at the time. Yeah.
Are you talking about Daddy Colonel Day?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. When them man they come, like everybody come and do their thing, like I was already there, innit? So it wasn't a thing like you're gonna fob me off. Like they came in and heard me. So it was like, okay. And then
That's a step in.
from once they jumped in, it wasn't like, all right, you can't get it again. They saw me when I was there, so that's how I got my rope in, so to speak.
Okay. Hollywood.
What was the question again?
How did you get your inspiration, my brother?
No, that wasn't.
that
That was his question. That was what I put in. I asked him about criticism.
Okay.
So Hollywood, you're often late. You're often, and you're described as laid back as too at some
He's
point.
triple L, isn't it?
You know what I mean? So
Laid back.
how do
Lazy.
you take that criticism?
Laugh. You got to believe in yourself.
Is it valid though?
Yeah, it is valid because, like the man them said, not everyone's gonna like you. Yeah, and everyone's got their favourites.
Yeah, but
And
we're
you
not
might
talking about
be
favourites.
there.
We're talking about your attributes in terms of turning up to a dance regularly, consistently, and not late. That's what we asked him. So that's what we're talking about. So we're not talking about the other criticism. We're talking about those are criticisms.
Oh, you're talking about my tuck keeping?
Yeah.
Now that makes sense. Right. Well, I'm like this.
And laid back sometimes.
Yeah, you got to be, because why are you stressing yourself out? Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's like this. Emai touched on it. I get there early. I wait. My best lyrics, most of them, is when we're not playing. Check that out. Do you know what I mean? So you kind of reach your peak. You reach your peak and it's not your turn yet. Yeah, I'm lyricsing in my head. Yeah, I'm putting things together, observing the crowd. And then you get your hour. But your heat, when you're hot, it's already gone. Do you know what I mean? So you might be on a vibe. So I turn up at a dance and I look at it, observe first, and I see what it needs. So if a sound's on before me, or before us, I should say, I will listen to the MC, I'll listen to the selector, and then my take is, whatever they're doing, I've got to do the opposite. That's my take. You can't come on with the same thing. You got to be you. Do you know what I mean? So if a man's coming on his set was hype, I've got to be the opposite to hype, to give it a little change. Do you know what I mean? Or just to be versatile. Do you know what I mean? Because you have to have an identity that people can relate with. Dodd's coming on now, yeah man, hype time, yes. Get my drinks, I'm ready, boom. Yeah, if you put Dodd on at 4, 5 in the morning when everyone's lean up and ting, they might not want to hear that hype. You put Emai on at that time, yeah man, came in the game and I did that bad. At 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. Do you understand? So again, it's about being versatile. The criticism thing, I'm always going to be late, but they say it's better late than never.
Before we finish on that point, can I say again about the late thing? Yeah, sometimes being in the dance and listening to some of the sounds that played before you, I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, before we go,
I'm gonna put it out here.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
It's an open forum.
I'm letting you know that sometimes I want to come in when my selector's going on because I don't want you lot to kill my vibe.
Right, okay.
You kill my vibe. Like I've come there and like I'm here for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
That's
just
my
listening
point.
to you, like you just killed my vibe, bro. Like
That's
literally,
my
if
point.
I come into a dance, I don't know what the frigs has gone on.
Yeah, fresh.
I don't know what
Fresh it is.
whatever I do is gonna be. I don't know. So I've not been influenced by nobody. I haven't been influenced by another MC or DJ.
See, the criticism part where I'm coming from is that sometimes I don't think you lot take yourself seriously. There's people that pay their money, come to the event to hear you guys. Let me just cut you one second. And appreciate, they really, you are the stars. And you kind of neglect it sometimes. So you got to take the people them seriously. I mean, like Ray, you would know.
I see the difference.
You go to Saxon. You've been to Saxon. How many times you've been to a Saxon dance? And Levi hasn't turned up. Have you been happy?
No, of course you're not happy with that.
So you guys got to take it, you've got fans out there. And you've got to take it seriously.
I've
That's all.
experienced having to fill in for Sweet Vibes once before.
You're mic man as well?
Holly didn't turn up. Didn't you know I could talk on the mic? Anyway. I think I did all right that night. But anyway, he didn't give me no wages though. But but that's all right. But
why would
what was interesting though, it's so funny because it's so funny that we got the best here on the podcast today. But he was there. I think even he was there at a dance when I was emceeing for him. And he was just playing it. Why didn't anybody go on mic on...
You said that. You just killed his vibe. Didn't you hear what he said earlier on?
No, but I would have thought somebody would have stepped in and said, you know what, Sweet Vibes...
But probably he won't pay nobody. That's probably why they didn't
so it's a money thing.
Tension. Tension of non-payment.
He said,
non-payment.
I don't think it's that. It's fine. These guys are kind of used to me probably doing it myself because they know how I stay. You know what I mean? So they know how I stay. But going back to that, I mean, that's a valid point. I mean, I remember when we used to go to the blues dances, you had Tony Nicks, again we mentioned his name, Barry White, Val Pacino, all the bigger DJs at that time. They used to own the mic, no matter who was playing, all night long. So whoever was playing...
Touch of Class was playing for 34 hours. 30, don't muck about. You
remember?
You'd be standing there. This is Touch of Class. R.I.P. Tony Nicks. Touch of Class. Next sound coming. Touch of Class. 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Who's playing? Touch of Class.
It don't matter. But
fantastic.
I remember, and I got to hold my hand up to it because I think it's one of the things that I started, and it's because of the certain politics that was going on in the game, which we'll go and touch on later.
Okay.
We decided to be very selfish, and it was, well, hear what? Every man's supposed to stand on their own 2 feet now. So it was no longer a DJ covering everybody. It was Hollywood. You ain't talking for them, Monday.
Okay, so it was more of a...
Yeah, it was
an
more.
issue thing.
That's the real of it.
And it's like a
And
click.
it was.
That's the real of it. You know what it is?
Okay. So your sound is Studio Express.
Dodd
and Ali
once
do their thing.
Once we transformed from the house dancers to warehouses, with that big captive audience, it was a total different era, total different ballgame.
Right, okay.
Your sound was Studio Express, Fifth Avenue, latest edition. It was recognised by Emai, Hollywood, and Dodd. So it was pointless me emceeing for Fifth Avenue. When later on, a couple of hours later, I got to MC for myself.
burn out yourself.
Because I'm going to have to do something to make his set sound proper.
Yeah.
Then I've got to do something better for my set.
Okay.
And it's very, very difficult.
Fair play.
Because that's not your selector.
It's not.
I hear that.
All right, I tell you what.
Okay, yeah, but hold on. Now I hear that. But again, I say because there was politics behind that. But on the flip side, you guys know. So house and garage.
Yeah.
So our friends in the house and garage that hold the mic, they hold the mic for all night for anybody.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who's playing.
The difference is what I touched on earlier.
I would say on that.
When you're getting paid handsomely, right? When you're getting paid handsomely, you're gonna do that.
So
But I also think it's a different culture
no.
as well, because the DJs, say the House and Gary scene, everybody's recognising their own rights.
Okay.
Like you'll get a House and Gary DJ, say his name's like Flick DJ. He's recognised as Flick DJ.
Yeah.
Then you might get
Different.
Sort MC.
Yeah.
He's recognised as Sort MC. But they put them
They're not
together.
together. That's right.
But
That's
those people, individuals, can go anywhere by themselves. We're recognised as a whole complete unit.
Gary,
So
that's
basically,
right.
we've got like an old school attitude, but new school flavour.
Yeah.
But the difference is we're not separated.
Yeah.
Hollywood's not MCing by himself. I'm MCing my. If you don't see myself with
I
Ali,
did sometimes.
yeah, well, if you don't see myself with Ali or Hollywood with Sweet Vibes or Emai with Legs, it's like you're recognised as a
That's
unit.
the team.
But do you
That's
not
the team.
think it's worked to shortchange the public, whereas you have... Listen, there's no doubt that you three, over the last 20 years, are the strongest DJs that have been out there. And there's no doubt... I know there's going to be other DJs that say...
Different.
That say different and their opinion's different. But in my opinion, there is a gulf between you and other DJs. At any one point, you lot have held the number one spot throughout the 20 years. I don't know no other DJ out of you three that has. And that's no disrespect to the DJs that have been out there. So, is there not a point where you three in a dance and working maybe for a set that is a bit weaker would enable that dance to be better, would be more consistent in terms of level stay up here, maybe instead of dropping down here?
Yes, I totally agree with that, but then you put in on something, and you said it out your own mouth. Hollywood, you're not MCing for them right there.
Yeah, but that was then. That was
No,
when I had a whole heap of feelings going on.
But what you've got to understand.
Well, I've still got feelings going on, but
now,
not
I
so
think
much.
now that would happen.
Okay.
Because we're older and a lot wiser. But when we're younger, you're feisty.
You
want to
gotta
represent.
remember.
And you got to remember, it's a lot. There's areas in this as well.
That's right.
You got south, you got west, you got north, you got east. So it's then comes to earring. And remember, you got all this 800 people all over. So you're thinking to yourself, you know what? I might, as soon as you finish that, man's going to say, what are you doing? What are you MCing for them, man? But it wasn't nothing detrimental. But a man was very, I come from this era, I come from this era.
Remember again, at that time, we're transforming again from the house parties to the warehouse. Now you're on that stage. You now have to make a name for, without sounding selfish, you now have to make a name for yourself, whether as a selector or an MC. Yeah? So in a sense now, are you going to burn out yourself on the next sound when your sound's playing? Like you said, you ain't got no energy for you because you've done your best stuff on that set. You're saving your best stuff for your time. Yeah? When that time comes, you want to deliver. Do you know what I mean?
Promoters have a standby MC in case somebody's
Well, I tell you the
MC
truth,
don't turn
not
up.
trying to sound like no golden child like the three of us, but timekeeping for me is important, and it's always been important. I've been at dances where there's major gaps. I'm saying to myself, you know, I should really kind of jump in. I'm saying, I can't nurture another man's unit.
So
right.
would the dances have been better if you guys jumped on it as hosts for the nights instead of being
course it would.
individual?
Would have been.
Of course it would.
But then again, I say promoters, why are you booking a DJ or a selector with no mic man? When you know those are demands that are needed in that circuit.
Exactly.
You're booking a DJ on the strength of his music, hoping one of these great MCs will pick up the mic while he's
I
playing.
don't know. There's a promoter right there.
And then on
There's
top
a
of
promoter
it,
right there. Why don't you answer that?
Can I just say,
no, let him
one
answer it.
second? No,
Let
one
him
sec.
answer that.
One sec. I'll give you a moment to think. My thing is this again, and money's not my god, but I can count on my hands the amount of times I've turned up, and we've probably all done it. And because of the love of the business, we touch the mic. And then because we love it, we touch the mic for an hour and a half, 2 hours, maybe 3 hours. And I can count on my hands the amount of time a promoter said, yo, thanks for that, hold that.
Okay.
So
Not putting it down on
so
a monetary
you don't get the
thing.
recognition in certain
In
departments.
certain aspects.
Okay.
Yeah.
So moving on to that. So EastEnder, why do you book DJs without
No mic man.
without no mic?
Well, I think, to be honest, it's like a lot of the sounds have got
Think
mic
about
men.
the answer before
No,
you
a lot of the sounds have got
Gave
mic
him a
men.
minute.
But they're not. They're not as good as you three guys. So you guys take the dance to another level, and then the other sounds that have mic men who are not as good as you obviously can't peak like you guys.
So it's a budget thing then.
It's not, well, any dance I do, the 3 guys are normally on the same bill.
Okay.
So
Oh, no. Let's stop right there because this is another thing that we're going to go and touch on.
Oh, me again?
We're going to fire some shots here.
Yeah,
you get
go
me?
on.
Because this is interesting. You're one half of Rare Groove Legends.
Oh, yes.
Yeah? You're
Yeah.
one half of Rare Groove Legends. And we was talking about this before, and so it's not like you don't know it's coming. You know it's coming. Studio Express on my right-hand side are joint Rare Groove champions with latest edition, if I do remember.
What? That's so much trophy you win over the years.
Where's this going? Where's this going?
Because what happened was...
Where's this going?
Break it down for you, because I've got the videotape in my house. I can break it down for you.
This was the Rare Groove Legends dance that happened
Okay,
around
when was
95,
it? When was it?
96.
96. It was in Tyson Street.
Yeah.
And what happened was, us, as late as the studio said, we was gonna share the cup.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah?
Okay.
Right. Then Mystery said, hell no. You don't have to do another round because we have to have a winner. Do you remember that?
What, 1 for 1?
Okay, and that's how there wasn't no joint cup winner. We took the money, we shared the money, right? We shared the money. We shared the money. The cup's in Leg's house. I told him to keep it.
No.
No, the cup's in your house.
Interject here.
The cup's
No, let me
The cup is in
interject.
Leg's house.
Let me
I told
interject
him
here.
to keep it.
What was going to happen, right, is every month we was going to transfer the cup from house to house. You see the first month? After I spent the money, I said keep the cup.
Okay,
It makes no difference.
but let's get to the point. Was there a winner?
There was a winner because we done the 1 for 1. And we came out the winner.
So latest edition are the
Yeah, but
champions and the champions.
listen, this is what we said. When we done the whole competition, right? We done set up and said, yeah, we're cool. We're cool to just
Share the cup.
We just share the cup and done.
I've never heard of that. I've never heard of a team
Listen
winning
to
the
what-
Champions League and then saying I'm going to share it with the loser. You either win it
All
or
right,
you never
all
win
right,
it.
all right, all
It was
right.
either a penalty
Okay,
shootout and
okay.
someone come on top or someone never.
Okay, all right. Well, this is what I'm trying to say. At the end of the day, that's what happened. And Mystery said, no way on hell. Yeah, you have to have a one-off. You have to play a 1 for 1, and we have to get a winner. That's what he said. And then on top of that, he said, I don't know if you remember this one, Dodd, where Mystery said, if I was you lot, I would have given the money to Desi G's missus. Do you remember when he said that?
I can't remember. I know you said I would have given the money to somebody, but I won't
Desi
say.
G's missus. That's what he
Yeah,
said.
something like, as a
some token.
Yeah, because Desi was away on holiday.
Yeah, because
Right.
we dedicated the cup
But
to
at the end-
Desi.
but to be honest,
the Mystery said,
I'll be honest,
that
that is 1996. I'm young, I'm feisty. As far as I'm concerned,
Money after everyone.
if that's if there's money in there and it's going in the middle, unfortunately, no disrespect to anybody, I want my half. Me and Ali has to eat.
Okay, but where I was getting to on that, and I did want to touch on that subject, which we touched on, is that he's never had you on Red Groove Legends, has he?
No, he hasn't.
And that's what it was asking. Why? I don't understand that myself, and I thought that.
Well, no, I think Rare Groove Legends is an event that created from, a conversation I had with Legs, and we tried to go back to the original sounds who started the Rare Groove movement, and obviously,
But those ravers are dead now.
no. Well, it's funny. It's funny. I'm quite happy
Did
there.
you just say that? Did you just say that? Cut. No, go on.
Well, no.
He didn't mean that. He means that
Well, no,
they're a
there's
bit
two-
older now.
well, there's two things
They're not
there.
dead.
Mature.
Well, there's two.
Mature.
I was one of them ravers.
Well, there's two things there. First of all, I mean, right, he says they're half dead, but Rare Groove Legends is one of the main events that has the biggest audience in the last 3 years.
I understand that, but
So-
I'm saying the people that were from that era, half of them,
No.
half of them will come out, and the rest of them will,
But we're constant. But obviously, because we're getting the numbers and we're always sold out, that half that we're getting is a really good half. So
you're getting other numbers from like
The new-
people,
the- yeah.
from like a newer crowd,
Yes.
so to speak. That which is
Yes.
people that know about the music, but they've never had the
opportunity.
to
The opportunity.
to go and
To
listen
experience
to
it, yes.
all night or whatever.
in the way that it was.
yeah.
So that's really the
So
of-
you say the real good concept, you've taken it back to the original, what you class as the original
the
real.
original. That's why we have some of the original sounds that was doing it. But in time, we will get to.
Where you need to get to.
We're Groove Champions.
Okay, cool.
Studio Express 625. What year was that? 1996.
1996. Real group runners up.
No. Joint winners.
Joint winners.
Or runners up. Which one is
Joint
it?
winners or runners up.
What are you? What?
And you know what? To be
Oh,
honest
no,
with
I'm
you,
going to ask Ali. I'm not going to ask the mic.
it don't make sense. You see that side of it?
It's done.
No, but you said runners up or.
I'll tell you the truth. To be honest,
Yeah. He got half the money.
we both,
and he's happy.
we both achieve something.
Okay.
Whether it's runners up, whether it's winner or
No, but we're documenting.
Alright, for
yeah?
documenting.
We're documenting. So we want to know: did you win or did you lose?
It was joint.
It was
because
joint.
we was on past the cup back to back, and you know what? To be honest, I ain't got no time to be driving on the other side of London to pick up a cup to bring to my house
For a month.
My month for a month, and every month is going back. Mate, if Uber was about them time there, you try to come and send it over.
So when we're talking about clash dances, we had that was a kind of clash.
that was a clash.
That was a clash.
96, yeah.
It was a clash. I tell you how it was a clash. Nobody was talking to nobody behind the scenes.
What, before the dance or after?
No, before the dance, during the dance, and after. Well, we was talking because we had money to talk. But those who they wasn't talking. Some people left the dance in a half and a puff. Behind
Some sounds never played out again after that dance.
Yeah.
I might add that.
Yeah, some sounds never played that again.
So
Some
when we
sounds
Yeah.
did not play out again after that dance. You never heard of them after.
I think for me, for the first really clash dance being on that capacity, I'm not gonna lie. You got a plan, you got a game plan in your mind as an MC, because you're saying you're making all about killing lyrics and all the rest of it. But on the night when it's flowing, it's a total different argument. You got peer pressure. You and your selectors talking fine, but you're telling them, man, can I get my record box? Remember, it wasn't computers then, it was record box.
Yeah.
So
Real
you're saying to a man, excuse me, and that man's looking at you like, don't touch me. And I'm thinking, what's that? I don't understand that.
Animosity.
So, being in a competition for the first time at that magnitude, it taught me a lot as an MC.
But that wasn't the first competition. So that was the first clash that we kind of ended
Yeah.
as a fraternity, saying
yeah,
that,
yeah.
even though we wasn't on it for some
Yeah.
apparent reason.
Nothing new there.
And that's when we was boycotted. But we'll get into that later on. Anyway, there was also other clashes that we had. We had Acapulco,
Yep.
which was down on the south side. Was you part of that? Was latest edition on that one? Okay, but definitely was on that because this is when you two were going at it.
Yeah, we was going at
you
it.
two was going at
Yeah,
it.
we were young.
We was young.
I can
South
remember.
London, West
Yeah,
London.
West London.
That's what
It's
it was.
on, isn't
It was
on.
the South and West London.
Yeah,
It's
straight.
on, it's on.
And that even started, that was even taken to a different level because not being funny.
Was that wet? Was it wet rice or what rice was that one
Wet
again?
rice was going on. and
Right, sweat rice.
Sweat rice.
was going on.
Jerk rice.
You need to go and shave was going
Yeah,
on.
all kinds.
All kinds.
All kinds.
No, I'll tell you the truth. It was personal, but it wasn't personal because if you listen to some of them yard sounds,
That's personal, yeah. There's certain
it wasn't
things.
it was personal, but it wasn't on that level of we're gonna really go.
You gotta
for it.
remember,
But
yeah,
the thing is,
them times, man's not in it to lose. There's no losing
There's no
around
losing
here.
going on.
There's no losing. We're in it now at the peak where, wow, this is serious. Need to be the best.
And not only
Understand?
that, at that time, Street Express their name was called Nova West, Fifth Avenue's name was called Nova South. It's like we're both coming at the
Same time.
same basket at the same time.
And plus, there was the undercurrent going on behind that,
Yeah.
which I think I've argued with these two guys. We've had our things, we've had our issues.
Yeah, of course.
Which is fair to say. And when I really check and talk about the issues that we had at the time, it wasn't really my issue. It wasn't really our issues.
Yeah,
it was other people's
people feeling
issues
the issue.
that
But-
fueled that argument and being a bit young and a bit naive. I mean, we had that discussion yesterday, didn't we, man?
we did.
I wouldn't say so much naive, but I think it was more competitive.
Yeah.
Because you've got two sounds coming from different areas.
Different areas.
I remember we was carrying the same amount of crowds.
Yeah.
So I remember playing, the first time I played, what's that first time? When we played with Fifth Avenue, there was a house dance in, I think it was Broccoli.
Upper Broccoli Road.
The dance was so jammed, we had to put the records for the window.
2 doors away
Yeah.
from
Dodd,
where we live. You get me?
But Dodd, I mean, for me, it would have been personal because we got Fifth Avenue got put on a banned list at one time.
Yeah.
So it was personal because sounds were blocking us, promoters were blocking us. So it was personal, and that's probably why it got more personal.
Yeah, of course.
With the element of the rivalry and everything else, and people fueling behind the scenes and saying da 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 da, and you know.
And if you look
So
back,
why do you think you got blocked?
Because we were good.
Okay.
I think that's a separate.
We were a
podcast.
threat.
Okay.
I think if you notice in certain walks of life, if you're good at something, you're a threat to someone else.
Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes that threat, you don't realize how big your threat is to a promoter, to another sound, to a circuit. Yeah. That's right. So in order to nullify that threat, let's keep them over there.
Okay.
But
So as an MC, did you do Tyson Street?
Tyson Street,
Okay,
yeah. Done a couple of Tysons, well, more than a couple of Tyson Streets. And again, you're standing there thinking, not really missing nothing much. Do you know what I mean? You know, for me personally, I'm looking at it like, well, okay, is this what it's about? Cool. I can do that. I think I could do that a little bit better. Not being boastful or big-headed, but you got to have self-belief in this game.
So you feel that you're more together now, like?
Yeah, because you look at life, and you look, as time goes by, you get a chance, if you're blessed, to look back. And at that time where your testosterone levels is high, and you're championing to be one of the best, if not the best.
Yeah, it's hard.
You don't set out to do that, but the competition's in your face. You think Lewis Hamilton wants to come third.
Yeah.
He don't. He wants to be number one.
And
So if you got ambition.
You got to remember the sounds. Latest I can't speak for because they were embedded. But Fifth Avenue Studio was the new energy.
Yeah.
We're bringing the new flavour.
We came with everything.
Everything. So
Everything.
basically, whatever we was doing over West, I was hearing the sound of a South doing it. Fifth Avenue. They got a bad MC.
Well, the first time I heard your sound, you guys played with Punani Express on Stonebridge Estate.
That's right.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, sounds going on with a team.
So I'm hearing the same thing. I'm saying like, this sound Fifth Avenue, but you got MC Hollywood and then. What is when you start playing out North, East, South, and West?
That's when you get.
That's when you're now hearing Hollywood. But you might get a girl come to you and say, "You're good, but you're not as good as Hollywood." I want to know who the hell this Hollywood guy is. So I'm taking it, and then one day, I'm saying, "Yeah, I'm so tough still." But as far as I'm concerned, you're not tough to me.
Yeah,
and then that's where the really rivalry started. So when we buck up in Acapulco, the dance was South meets West.
Yeah.
Now. At that time, remember, we're young. We're not like how we are now. We're
been through it,
for me and Hollywood to clash now, I think we have to orchestrate it.
Yeah, it's got to be our dance.
It's got to be our dance. We've got to orchestrate. A man can't draw us in, but that time of what? South v West.
Got to prove yourself.
The dance was run from 11 o'clock. Yeah. When we walked in there now, we're like stars now. Because the sounds are on one side and one side. We had Music Street and Nasty Love. So the dance is peppering from the beginning.
In.
But the main attraction at that time is Street Express, Fifth Avenue.
So I love the build-up.
Right.
So who won?
Well,
South won the first clash. South won.
I don't know.
Well, there's no, you don't.
No, for me, because
for me, we won that. South won
the
that.
first one.
The first one.
Silver Spoons.
Yeah, I heard
No.
Acapulco.
Acapulco.
Acapulco's we're talking.
That was a bit dicey.
That was
No, but I would admit it because you know what? Hollywood's my brethren, and you know what? Emai's we're all brethren now, and we've been there, done that. And I could say the first one, Hollywood caught me off guard because I went there with some lardy-dardy thing. Because I'm not thinking about this war. I'm thinking about how much girls is in this dance. And when I come out of here now, I'm young. The finest thing, like you come off this platform now, girls and she, you're alright. And the thing about it, girls that wouldn't even pay you no mind, paying you attention. So I'm not thinking about it, but he caught me off guard. Boom. So I would say that on that night, he took it.
Yeah.
But do you?
For me, that night, why I was really angry, I'll tell you the truth. I was angry because we got there at 11:30, and at 5:25, we hadn't played yet.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I was angry. So I interjected when it wasn't our time. And that's what got you angry.
That's when the whole thing started.
All I wanted to ask was, When are we actually gonna play?
No, but
if we are the star of the show,
what
when are we
happened
gonna play?
is not so much that I just keep hearing boom. I said, who that? And then from I said, but the dance got into a situation where the crowd took over the dance.
Oh, okay.
But they were bottle for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Heineken
this
start
getting the
time.
bottles? Who's getting the
Heineken start time.
it was going from both sides. So at this time now we're saying, boy, this is going out or even out of our league. But you know what, we're young and feisty. Well, second time right now. Get the call. We're going to do the part 2. But this one's drinks free. Is it?
Wow.
You can stuff your drink. But here what? All week, I'm preying this dance. So even if you listen back to the...
So when you say preen, that's the mic, man. Your lyrics.
Yeah, that's everything.
Were you writing them down or they're just straight to your head?
No, them time wasn't writing lyrics, but there's if you're a good MC, there's certain style you just remember. It's just, from you make it, it just sticks there. And then, to me, like, Emai's more a man who write lyrics, so he's more perfectionist.
As an artist.
He's an artist from then.
No, you're all artists now, but we'll get to that later,
But
right?
first,
Every time there, I've got lyrics playing up in my mind, but the only difference, I'm on the edge. Because the last time he interjected, I wasn't feeling it. This time, I'm saying to Ali, any eye opening now. I want this. But what happened? Ali played a record called Hollywood.
Yeah.
And before you know, I mean Hollywood, dream, it just went berserk.
Yeah.
It was on. So as he opened his mouth, I said something like, yeah? You think I last year this? Me fit, me trim, ready for anything. Hey, that boy over here so eat sweat rice. Hey, I talk off him out. That boy there, he needs to go learn for shave. Buy some clothes. And then it wasn't even about music. It got so bad that people were saying, you lot stop, man.
No, but
So on that point, Emai, tell me about the most historical point in your career the most iconic point in your career for MC Emai in a dance, warehouse or house party or club.
When did you realise you bust?
Well, no, I'm not talking about his bust because I think he realised he bust from a long time. But I just want to know. There must have been a moment.
No, I'd say one of the dances that I would live in my memory would be Skegness.
Skegness?
Remember Skegness, Dodd?
Yeah.
It was an RJS.
RJS, yeah.
It was an RJS thing. Now,
And
basically,
RJS is Sweeney, Roddy,
so basically,
Derek, Stretch.
at that time, we was playing in SW1 with Rampage.
Okay.
And we was playing in the back room. So me and Leg said, what we'll do, we'll test out some 80s songs because we had this Skegness thing in, and we knew everybody's gonna want to play jungle, everyone's gonna want to play bashment, everyone's gonna want to play hip hop, everyone's gonna want to play R&B. So we decided that we was gonna try and feel out some songs from way back and see what kind of reaction we was getting in the back room in there. Anyway, when Skegness came up, the set was absolutely terrible. It was absolutely terrible. Hyper came on, they complained about the set. Everybody came on and complained about the set. And I said to Legs, listen, bad workmen bring their tools, you understand me? Yeah? I could hear that the set was shit, but my mindset was, we can overcome this. And then because we'd been doing this thing with the 80s songs, it was fresh. The music that we played, people weren't expecting to hear that, especially at the time that we came on. So that's where all that Candy shit started from. That shit. Yeah? That's when we had the whole dance doing Candy. And that's where that shit started. We're talking 90, that was 94? It was 94.
93, I think.
94, it was 94, yeah? And that's where, from that, every week now you get dum, 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 dum. Yeah. So it's like, hold on a minute, but that was something that was devised and put together from SW1. That was a plan.
So Electric Slide, right?
Yeah.
Is a dance which is
from the
From long time.
from long time ago,
Yeah.
and obviously
Country and them
was,
sorts.
was the Best Man movie? Was it the Best Man
Yeah, it
movie?
was in
so
that
did
as
you
well.
guys kind of like get on the mic and say who's seen the Best Man? Or
I have said that
okay then.
at a later time because I think the Best Man movie hadn't come out.
So people naturally started doing the candy dance when
Right,
you were playing.
what it was, it's not only because I've seen people get people to do the electric slide, and once they're finished playing that song,
It's finished.
everybody goes back to normal. Our thing was to keep people going.
Yeah.
Keep it rolling, yeah.
Yeah, that was the thing to keep. When we went to, I think we done Rotterdam, we had people doing candy for about 18 songs,
Whoa.
continuous.
Madness.
Vibes. You understand me? So that was something that I think, as for a rave, that you against the odds, because the set, like I said, it weren't like everything was fantastic.
The set just wasn't
The
up.
set wasn't up for it. The sound man then was cussing the set.
Do you remember what sound it was at the time?
I don't know whose set it was.
Oh, what a pity. Dodd, your iconic moment.
Well, I've got a few, but I must say, one always stick in my mind is winning the best MC.
Street Sounds Awards.
Street Sounds Awards.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say it, it's not even so much.
Is that the one that Raymond fixed?
I'll be honest.
Zoom in, cameraman.
So what year was that?
I think I was
1970s, 1997.
No, it was 1997. Because I tell you why I say that now, because when the best MC awards, when the
You
best
said I fixed it. Why did you say that?
when the best sound award was announced, it was won by Fifth Avenue. Okay. Okay. So
Okay.
to me, to have the best sound, you have the best selector and best MC. That's a collective.
Yeah.
Would you agree with me?
Do you know, I've
Would
got
you
to be
agree?
honest.
Okay, hold on, let me finish.
No, but I'm just going
No,
to say,
no,
I agree
no,
with you.
Let me finish. So
I do agree.
I'm going to tell you because at that time, myself and Legs were on different terms. I was doing public announcement at the time.
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
Right. So I was at the back of the. I was at the back. Like I'm observing everything.
So you're neutral at that time?
I'm a neutral. I'm a
Okay,
neutral.
great.
But when the best MC award was announced, I'm telling you from where I was, crowd-wise, everybody was saying Hollywood, Hollywood, Hollywood. Then it was
And the winner
D-O
is?
double D.
Woo!
So it was like there was a bag of people like, hold on a minute.
Fix.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. I'm just telling you.
How do you feel about
Remember,
that?
I'm just telling you what.
No, I'll tell you what, right?
Hold on.
No, I don't think you should ask Dodd that question. I think you should ask the organizer.
He just took his own moment. He said my best.
Yeah, I think we should.
Organizer. And the best newcomers was Reminisce.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Reminisce.
At this junction, let me fix my trousers.
Reminisce was out from creation, yeah?
Yeah.
I was the only sound that came out that year, for that year, and done my own thing. So if you're going to say newcomer,
Yeah.
how can you call Reminisce
Okay.
that's been playing with you for years?
Well, this episode Set the Trend is about Mike, man. I don't think we should be talking about street sounds.
But actually,
but
no,
while
let me
we're
just
on
come
it,
back. No, but let me just come back.
No, hold on a second. Can you finish your sentence, please?
Yeah.
I think we need to address that. I don't
Street
just need to
Sound
address
Awards 1997.
Yeah,
You're the
and there's a-
organizer, yes?
Yeah, you was.
One of.
it. Okay.
So, did you share the awards
can I
to
just
try
say-
and keep everyone happy?
Hold on. Can I just
I
finish?
think so.
Huh?
I think so.
Okay, let me just finish.
What did it take?
Let me just shut up because we haven't got much time. We haven't got much time.
Why
I
are you
want to get to
sweating?
your record.
Okay. Well, I will.
The Street Sounds Awards. My opinion is this: the way that it was organised was fairly good, but it could have been better. It was the first one, first awards, and the idea behind it was to give recognition to DJs and their excellence.
So it wasn't an honest awards. It was just about giving people.
Well, excellence is. If you're awarding somebody for their excellence, stop being flippant. If you're awarding someone for their excellence, it's obviously their best of, or they've been recognised for being a best of in whatever category or whatever they do. So that was my idea behind it, because you remember you had Kanye King had just started her awards.
The Mobo Awards, yeah.
The Mobo Awards. And that started off with Hammersmith Palais, and we played on the first one, but the Street Sounds wasn't on there. The Street DJs wasn't on there, and again, we'd been left out from certain things where we had promoted music and built music, and yet we weren't recognised for nothing. So the idea was, well, let's do our own thing. And to be honest, now I reflect on that. Yeah, I can't be someone who's an organizer and be part of the awards.
And be a winner.
But I can't be part of the awards or be a winner. I have to be separate. But at that time, I'm still a DJ. I'm still
top of your game as well.
I'm still, of course, and everything comes with that. That I want to be. I'm craving to be recognised as the best of. You've seen your DJs go before. So, but in hindsight, I wouldn't do that again. But I also say, that the overall thing of it was always a good thing, and it should have been carried on for us, because you've got other awards that have come up and that, and they're getting their recognition as a fraternity, and we've never done that. And we've never done that, and we should have done that. And some of the bigger man them at the time, they should have come and say, let's sit down and talk how to do this better. But because of the backbiting and all the pass out and all the rubbish that was going on at the time, it just deaded out on that year. You understand?
Never been
so
done.
That's the reason why. That's the reason why it didn't continue.
No, that's the
Okay, so when the actual awards was announced, and they said, yeah, best MCs Hollywood. At that point, I turned around and said to Ali, what do you expect? It's in the heart of South London. Because I'll be honest with you, that dance there was 80% South London. It was awards. So I expect Temple Road, heart of South London, 8% of the crowd is South London. So when I heard everybody saying Hollywood, when they actually said no, it's not Hollywood, the only part I didn't like about it, Hollywood's already walking up. So
G Money, big up G Money, big up G Money. Yeah, thanks, bro.
So he was already walking up. So at that point, I'm kicking back. Then I've heard my name. Now, to be honest, why? I swear to God.
Sounds like a good kick in your teeth.
Yeah, bro. But made me stronger.
But at the end of the day, it was done. And respect to whoever was behind the scenes or in the scenes, and however it went, it was done. But either which way, the MCs were recognised for whatever craft they got at that time. So it was a good thing, because at that time I wasn't really that hungry to be walking around saying, I'm the best MC, I'm the best MC, I'm the best MC. On the day, yeah, I had the trophy in the turntable spinning around in circles. But that was more, again, South and the West thing. So I was just trying to say, listen, I've come over here, got this thing here, but it was still what it was. It was a South and West thing. So this rivalry between myself and Hollywood, it's made us all...
Made it ticker.
Because I'll tell you what, it was proven. Take away that rivalry at that time, the dance was solid. Nothing was going for the dance.
Okay, so hold that thought there, and we've got about 10 minutes left, and I really want to get onto your new single that you guys have got coming out. Sorry, the artist here coming out. Please. Hollywood, your moment. I really think, and I'm going to answer that for you, because I just think it's just I'm just thinking it's an iconic moment, and I don't think that you're ever going to outlive that moment. We go anywhere.
Oh, is that the one? You reckon?
That's the one. That's the one. I reckon that clash when you said South, you made that speech, and that kind of done everything at that point. That was like the sealed on it. That was like the nail, the hammer on the nail. Yeah.
Out of South all London. Of the lyrics that I've tried over the years.
No, that was a statement.
That's right. That's a statement.
That statement, that iconic moment that everybody, because you're not on social media, so you don't see how that video is talked about and how it's shared. You don't see that. I see that. You understand? So you don't see that. So that moment, was that a lyrics that you thought of in the week or a statement?
I don't. With me, I've never written the lyrics. I can't. Not to say I can't, but they're up here. It's an inspiration. I can write. Everyone I can write. I can spell and stuff like that. You put it together. I think. I got an O level in English.
Just to let you know, DJs have brains and we have other jobs that incorporate
I can use these
skills.
But where was I?
Yeah, you have an O level.
Yeah, I got an O level in English. But my thing is this. You see, in any walk of life, like I said this earlier, you can go through just happy-go-lucky, or you can want to strive to be the best you can be. Do you know what I mean? So thought to myself, you know what, Ollie, you got to change it up every week. Don't give the people them cookie crippler. Thank you, God rest in peace. Yeah? You got to have versatility to your game. So I can look and say, I hear what you're saying. As a statement, don't know where that come from. It was true the argument, again, where no tickets, don't know where to get tickets in South London, blah, 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 blah. And there was so much South London people there. Yeah. And I thought, well, if you couldn't get tickets, where was the dance?
Over in North London, there, isn't it?
No, he's pretty close to us, actually, the promoter, one of them. But anyway.
Here we have it.
So, my thing was,
Don't try to ring it.
I kind of understand when Sweet Vibes is in particular.
Yeah, you get the gist of the thing. So my thing was to see so much people from South turn out and they couldn't get tickets and the support is tremendous. Yeah. So for me, the pressure's on to give them something. And the only thing I could think of at the time when I was sitting back at the back of the sound, chilling out, observing.
In your lazy style?
In my lazy style was...
Do you remember Tavistock?
Hold on a minute. I used to go to Wilds then when I was a kid. That's my second home, isn't it? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it's nothing new for me, where some people might find Wilds intimidating. Yeah? I'm playing on Acton Lane as a liquor youth. I'm going Stonebridge as a liquor youth, so it weren't nothing for me, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking, I'm looking at the supporters and the fans, I was like, I've got to give them something. Even if it's a little something. Yeah. You understand? So it led to that. We go anywhere, which is true. Yeah? I went to Scotland. Ollie! No. Nah, not in Scotland.
Hold on. So moving on from that, and now you're on a tune together. Emai, Dodds, and Hollywood, and Dixie, who's not here, but he's going to have his own podcast with Galflex. Okay? But you're on a tune together now. Yeah. Reggie's an executive producer on that tune. You brought it all together. What was your idea behind it? Because I've got a question to ask these three straight away after you say what was your idea behind
very quickly. I mean, I've obviously admired everything Street Sounds have done for years. I grew up on that from back in the day, of Supertone days, and I just felt my years in the music industry and seeing other people being acknowledged and being recognised on a lot of the mainstream platforms and various other places. And I said, you know what, how comes these guys have never ever been acknowledged? How comes there isn't that UK garage or jungle record or from the scene? And I just sat back, and I think it was when Psycho passed away. I remember speaking with Holly saying I want to do it about 2 years ago outside of Jerry Baskin's house. And Psycho passed away, and then I said, you know what, we've got to get this done. Let's do it. Let's document what you guys' story is. And the track, I just wanted people to understand what you do in the gigs as MCs, which is why the track is the way it is, in the sense that you're, reciting lyrics on an instrumental that is kind of like entertaining with a couple of hooks. There isn't anything serious about the record. It wasn't, the whole aim of it was not to be some lyrically gifted record. Obviously, part 2, hopefully, that would be where we want to do that. So that was the idea really behind it. That was it.
So I'm going to put it out to you guys, because I've had a conversation this week with somebody, and I'll ask the question straight. Are you guys too old for this?
Nah.
What's too old?
What's too old?
I mean, I see people 76 years old working in Sainsbury's. Do you know what I mean? What's too old?
Actually, just before we came on the podcast, Holly was talking about the same thing. Mick Jagger.
Yeah. Rod Stewart.
Rolling Stones.
What's the other brother?
Tom Jones.
Tom Jones.
Well, even Jay-Z. I mean, Jay-Z's 47, 48.
I suppose people might be thinking to start making your first song at 40 late or 50.
Susan Boyle went on Britain's Got Talent and become a millionaire.
If you're
You lot are making your first song at 48.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot.
Sorry.
Let's recognize that.
I do apologise, everybody.
DJ Emai,
filming
aka Maestro Goods, from back in the day, was
Shabba ranking.
Don Holly.
I've supported a load of
We'll take a back seat now while open the floor. We introduce to you.
I just don't want nobody saying like, well, we're making our first tune like when we're big people, because I've made songs a long time, so I'm not involved in that argument.
So should you have parked up then?
Should I have parked up?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Should I have parked up?
Should you have parked up because an essence of was that you're too old, so you've made tunes.
Yeah.
So whereas they haven't, so they're too. I think the essence that they were saying, well, they're too old to make their first tunes. But with the.
Who said they're too old?
I'm not going to say his name, but would I say to you then that he might say, well, you should have given it up by now?
It's not whether I've given it up. What Reggie requested from me was something that I could give him. Do you understand me? I've had countless people ask me to go back in the studio and put back out music again. And I've told them no.
So why did you do it for Reggie?
Because Reggie had a concept of what he wanted to do. It wasn't about where I was in with the dancehall thing. Do you get me? The reason I stopped making music with the dancehall thing is because the people that is in the UK, well, a lot of them, not all of them, Mr. Palmer was right, but some of them didn't really understand the logics. If I'm making hip hop, which is originally an American thing, yeah? To compete with them, I cannot be pricing my thing at the same price.
Okay.
Do you understand me? Now, in the UK, as an artist, we put out 12 inches. That's $3.99. I could go and get Capleton, Beanie Man, Buju, you call them and them, I can get them for like £2.20. Single. So you're already putting yourself at a disadvantage because you're not on the same playing field. The same tune you said, Live Blanket, was a 7-inch. Sell out. One time, blab. And I'm saying to them, can't you lot see? The 12-inch thing don't really work. This is just before CDs and that kind of. But the 12, you can't be charging somebody $3.99 for English, for an English composition of reggae, when I'm getting the real thing for £2.20. That was my fault. So as far as I'm concerned, if you lot can't see the mathematics, you understand me? Every time you make a song, you're not winning, you're gonna lose. Unless you're ready to put out those 7s. Yeah.
How many 12 inches did you make?
How many 12 inches? We've done EPs.
EPs.
We've done a few EPs, probably about 3 or 4 12 inches. Okay. But it's the 7 inches. The 7 inches is what sells. That's the long and the short. Most of the tuning that bust for dancehall artists,
What's on a 7?
it's on a 7. And then when it busts, people buy the 12. Yeah, that's the logic. I'm a DJ, so I know how it goes.
So how do you feel about being an artist now? You're an artist already. I don't want to. How do you guys feel about being an artist?
First of all, I'm going to deal with the age factor. Now, it's age.
Are we going back there?
It's age.
That really touched you, innit?
Yeah. You know why it touched me? I'll tell you why it touched me. A lot of people focus on age and not what can be achieved out of it. Yeah. We're not looking at age. What we're doing, we're looking at inspiring the scene, taking the scene to another level. Because if Reggie didn't come with this idea, we still would have been potting around doing the same thing with no recognition. So it's not even an age thing. We're trying to make the people behind us, if they want to follow this scene, there's something for them to base themselves off. At the moment, before
that's the legacy angle.
Yeah, it's the legacy angle. Before Reg came about, we was just potting around. So even if, supposing now that record goes out there and it does well, you might get people's sons and daughters that didn't pay no interest. Yeah. It inspired them to now, let me continue that legacy.
Dodd, stop right there. I had a conversation with somebody the other day. They're saying they wouldn't mind putting a track together with Frankie Beverly. Who else? Frankie Beverly. I think it was, what's the other guy that's over there on your side? Who works with Robo? Price, Frankie Beverly, and a couple other people, and they were saying, yeah, we can make it like West versus South. Same argument. And I said, but hold on, Dodd's from West, and he's already on the track, so it doesn't, but the fact that people are even thinking or considering, this is what I'm trying to say.
So
it's a movement.
It's not an age thing, it's a movement. All right, we're talking about documenting legacies. Big up Rubber Rex.
Yeah.
he had Uptown Split for 10 years. I had Corks for 10 years. That left a legacy, but there's not another legacy like that to follow. So what we do, we get things, hold on to it. It's a good thing. Sweet Vibes, the Sound Awards, great thing. If he did that now, we might be at the Royal Albert Hall, doing it on a professional level. But what happens, our so-called followers,
Haters.
They just turn it into any excuse to find a reason. Oh, age. The next thing they're going to say, height. Next thing they're going to say is clothes. But really and truly, those are the same people who've been raving amongst us for the last 20 years.
And then on the other side of it, when we get to 62, God bless us, you lot should have done a song, man. Why didn't you lot do a song?
And that's my point.
This is why,
can't win.
when we say documenting the scene and the age thing and the whole, I've got big views on that because really and truly, these ravers that go to warehouses, clubs each and every week, if they were to support the team, then we could take them to bigger, better places because we're getting the support, we're getting the love. And not only that, we're getting a financial input to take it somewhere else. But at the moment, you do something, it goes out there, and now everybody's just on it for whatever reason. Oh, it shouldn't have been that, it should have been this man should have been on it. Where they should be saying, no, let's embrace that.
So Reggie, putting out the single, do you have plans to put out a second single, different artists?
Well, we're in talks about doing
Because you
something.
did put the quickly, because we've got 2 minutes left, but you did put the call out to
Quite a
more
few
DJs than was
MCs,
here, but
yeah.
it's only these three and Dixie that came back to you.
Yeah, that took it
That doesn't
seriously.
mean that we're going to stop, or you might not call other DJs
Oh,
to
no,
be part
no,
of the
there's
next
plans
project.
to do
Yeah, I
more
just want to
stuff,
put that.
so,
Good, that's
but,
good.
With you know, Emai, Hollywood, and Dodd, I can say exclusively on here that there is going to be a follow-up single. And, you know,
Can I get more of a promo in there than just play music?
Sorry?
Can I get more of a promo in there than just play
Yeah,
music?
of course. Apparently you're in the video, aren't you?
I am, but just doing turntable. But every minute, these guys come in the middle of me and you know what I mean?
But to be honest, it's a move that should have been done ages ago.
When we was hard.
When we was hard in it.
We're still hot.
We're still
Well,
hard.
nothing before the time.
That's right.
Yeah.
But we've got 2 minutes left, and I'm going to have to cut you because I want to ask you, look, the last questions before we go. When it's all done and finished, and you've parked up your mics, how would you want to be remembered, Emai?
How would I want to be
For the
remembered?
culture, how would you want to be remembered in the culture?
Game changer.
Game changer. Dodd, how would you want to be remembered in the culture?
As a man that left the scene for people to follow.
Hollywood, how would you like to be remembered?
The best.
That's nice.
Thank you. I just, you know, I got to salute these guys here because, as I said, they've carried the torch over 20 years for the scene. They've been in it longer. They've put their work in, and I think it's great that now we get to acknowledge their work that they put in and applaud them while they're alive. I don't want to be doing this at their funeral and saying how great they was then. I'm saying how great they are now. So thank you for coming on. I know we're going to have you on again individually with your sounds, so we'll see you again. We've left out a lot. We've got so much to talk about.
We don't get a freestyle?
A freestyle? I don't know if we've got time.
What?
We've got time.
Oh,
Director,
we got Mike Man in there. We got a record that we're supposed to be.
Director, how much money is on the table?
We've got 1 minute.
Artist money.
They couldn't see the first verse each.
Yeah, first verse each of the songs. Yeah. Okay, go on.
How my part again?
When you see the mic.
When we see the mic in my boss, once again, when we see the mic in my boss, it's an instrument of the other, but in love. When DJ in a party, we're all sound club. When we was young music, DJ on the dub. Now we get all soul music when we love. The people, see that?
This is the remix. Artist money, me want some artist money. Tell your friend them.
I mean, doing the show. I can't top that. Shut up. I can't top that.
I hope you've enjoyed it. Set the trend. This is why we're doing it. It's for the culture. We're cutting out the vultures. It's for the culture, and we're recognizing our icons and the people who put the work in. Tune into the next one. This has been with the legendary Emai, the legendary Hollywood, and the legendary Dodd. Yeah? Okay, cool. We're out there, and we'll see you on the next one. We're going to finish off these chicken wings that they're bad. Later. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Stuff. Great stuff.